looks deep, and he's going for it, and it's caught. A beautiful catch by Hesse.
What a great grab. Beeman just throws it down the sideline. Hesse is full speed, makes the grab here. This is a huge play. In great coverage, gets the foot down, gets two, gets the toe down as well.
And the Cardinals.
That's a big time catch.
First down. And it'll be first down and 10 at the Hayti 36. Great catch by Nate Hesse. Hesse, the 6'1 junior wide receiver. That looked like the first play of the game that they didn't connect on. They went back to it. And it works that time to perfection. Beeman this time fakes to the right, now runs to his left, looking, fires it, is batted in the air, and it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, hit Kroenke over there on the side, but he was a little late on that throw, and he's lucky that didn't get picked off.
So Lincoln having some production and success through the air. And it'll be second down and 10.
That might be their only chance. Move him around in the pocket, let guys find some open space in zones, but he's got to be careful because they can close fast with those defensive backs.
That was a 40-yard strike to Hesse from Beeman. A beautiful big play that they needed on third down. Beeman takes a snap, this time hands off, and there's some running room. And the Cardinals have another first down as running back Gage Kaler takes it and picks up about 13 for a first down.
Well, a little backdoor trap here, and he does a fantastic job of running through some arm tackles. Sealed off there well by the offensive line and running hard. Lincoln finding something here on their third possession of the game.
So first and 10 from the Hayti 21, and now a timeout by the Indians. There's Kaler's numbers. You see he has 13 touchdowns, and Lincoln finally has something to cheer about, and they got a little life.
Well, and Hayty's taking a timeout to say, hey, what are we doing here? We were shutting them down. They weren't doing anything. And now they've got it on the 21.
So Hayti leads it 14-0. Let's take a look at how they've gotten here. A little recap for you. Kervonte Moore took the opening drive, stayed on his feet, and took it 50 yards for a touchdown. And then on the third possession for Hayti, it's their main man, that Ivory Winters. He went 62 yards for a touchdown. The defense has been spectacular. They've done great things, assignment football. You can see some of the tackles, some of the sacks. Jason Weatherspoon. Lincoln has just hit on a 40-yard third down pass. And then they got a 13-yard run for a first down, and so they're in their best drive of the game. But you see Moore with a 50-yard rush, Winters with a 62-yard rush. Lincoln had nothing going on any of its drives, and then Hesse gets the catch for 40 yards, and they're in business first and 10 at the Hayti 21 after the timeout. Alongside Dion Clisso, I'm Bo Bayman, and here we go. Handoff inside, and getting to probably the 20-yard line is Kaler. He stopped there.
It's kind of a straighter head run, and I think the thought there is maybe spread them out a little bit, see if you can find some gaps.
They'll give him a gain of 2 inside the 20. It'll be second down and 8. We're at Faurot Field for the Class 1 state championship game. Hayti leading 14-0. And they'll have it second down and 8 on their best drive of the day. Their quarterback is Jackson Beeman. The 6'1 junior calls for the ball, drops back, throws it into the end zone, and it's intercepted. Hayti has a turnover, and it's picked off by Naquan Harris.
Well, the Lincoln receiver kind of had a little bit of a step, and that ball, if it was going to be thrown, needed to be thrown all the way to the back edge of the end zone, and it's thrown to the front. This is an easy pick.
He was going for Hesse again, but Harris is there and came down with it. It'll be first down and 10 for Hayti at their own 20-yard line, but a big play again by the Hayti defense, shutting the door on the Cardinals.
Well, if you're Lincoln, you got to get a stop here. You don't want to give up another one.
8th interception this year for Harris. And here come the Indians on offense. And they're going to call a timeout. Hayti was a little confused coming out in that structure, and so head coach Dominique Robinson called the timeout and said, hey, let's get reset. Still 3 minutes to go here in the first. Let's have this play run right. We don't want to give the ball right back to Lincoln. That could be a big play here. As Lincoln was moving, you thought maybe if they can score some points, it could be a different ball game.
Yeah, that's a huge spot for Hayti to get that turnover because the momentum right now had been on Lincoln. Lincoln, they basically said, hey, we're here to play after giving up 2 huge runs, and now they've given the ball right back to Hayti.
There you see Dominique Robinson. Of course, on the other sideline, the head coach is Kevin Lefevre. Lefevre has a school record and career record of 13-1. That's what Lincoln is this year.
He was an assistant coach the year before, and this is his first year as head coach.
And when we talked to him, he said, we'd like to be balanced on offense. We'd like to run the ball, but we'll do whatever we can. And the defense is scrappy. We've seen that. It's just, here's a wide receiver end around, and the player slips. He should be down. He is down. That was Tyler Wooden who took the handoff after coming in motion, and that little bit of rain is going to make this turf.
You can see a little bit of moisture out there.
That's right. It's going to make this turf a little slippery, and in high school, if you fall to a knee, you're down. That's what happened there. It's going to be no gain. They'll mark them back at the 20, and it'll be 2nd down and 10. Kervonte Moore hands it off to Winters. Winters has 5, still on his feet. And before he's down, he has 8. He's out to the 28-yard line. The young man is running hard.
Well, he's so tough to bring down, and he comes through the line here, and it looks like, hey, they've got him bottled up at a 1. The spin, the first guy, he works off and then goes through about another tackle and drags another one forward. They've got 3rd and short.
3rd down and 2. Winters takes the handoff, runs to his right, and will power his way across the 30-yard line for a 1st down. He took Levi Betts for a ride there. I thought Betts may have him to force a 4th down, but he'll get just enough for a 1st down for the Indians.
Yeah, and he'll come off the field and get a break on this one.
That's what happens when you play both ways. Once in a while, you do have to come out. And so replacing him will be Adrian Stevenson. Stevenson in the backfield with Moore. And let's see what the Indians dial up with Winters on the sidelines. Moore fakes to Stevenson, keeps it himself. He'll get to the 35-yard line. Pickup of 5 as we have 90 seconds to play here in the first.
Well, just a little zone right here, and Moore shown as he can do is go around the outside edge, make a good decision, and get upfield.
2nd down and 5 for the Indians. Lincoln, as we mentioned, just 1 loss this season. It was way back on September 7th against Prairie View of Kansas, where they lost that game 26-7. And there's a penalty flag before the start of the play. And it's going to be a false start. Let's hear from our official, Joel Easton. Joel Easton doesn't want to talk to us. Here we go.
False start. Offense. 2nd down.
Man, a few words.
Well, that penalty takes away basically the run from Moore, and there's been a little bit of sloppiness on the Hayti side. They're up 14-0. Really just in control of this game, but there have been some penalties and some missed stuff.
2nd down and 10 for the Indians. Now hand it off to Winters, running to his right. He cuts it back, stays on his feet, tries to break a tackle near midfield, and how about that run from Ivory Winters, showing you not only his speed, but also his strength.
Really impressive run here. And
he looked dead to rights right here.
Right here. 2, 3, 4. He doesn't break the tackle of 5, but the 5th guy in got taken for a ride.
Dustin Roark and also Jackson Beeman in on that tackle. 6 carries, 108 yards, and a touchdown. And now a carry on the inside for Stevenson. And Stevenson.
Well, some of those runs right there, I mean, that way it'll keep him from keying on Winters every single time Stevenson comes in, and now he's going to go out and get a blow. That's good. They're doing a good job of rotating their guys. Just pure numbers-wise, Hayti's definitely got almost, I don't want to say double, but close to it on the sidelines.
And that ball is on the carpet, and Lincoln has it. A fumble on the exchange as Hayti tried to go quick to beat the clock before the end of the first quarter, and it ends up on the ground, and Lincoln has it in a much-needed turnover for the Cardinals. That was Moore trying to hand it off, and he was trying to hand it off to Ladarius McIntyre. Lincoln recovers, and the Cardinals will have the ball on their own 44-yard line, but a huge break for Lincoln to end the first quarter. Hayti leads the Class 1 state final 14-0.
This is a proclamation from Mizzou.
We've got something to say.
Show me the world through someone else's eyes.
Show me what happens when chemists tackle cancer.
Show me every side.
Show me my career while I'm still taking classes.
Show me how to go fast. No, really fast.
Show me the truth.
Show me how to thrive.
Show me. Show me. Show me
What you've got.
We're back for the beginning of the second quarter. Lincoln going to the air. It's overthrown. Trying to get the ball to Kroenke was Beeman. And we should mention what a special relationship between those two, because Jackson Beeman missed part of the season with an injury, and in his stead, it was Bo Kroenke. And then as soon as Beeman came back, he's like, okay, I'm good. I'll go play wide receiver.
Yeah, when you're those small towns, these guys have known each other probably most of their life, and so switching out and playing different positions is probably not a big deal. And as we get a little bit more rain coming down now, and that might have an effect on handing on to the football. That last exchange that caused the fumble, it looked like both players kind of just thought the other one had it, and they just didn't make any moves.
Here's a pitch back to Kroenke, and Kroenke wants to throw it to Beeman. He does, and he drops it. It was in his hands, and he dropped it. A little slippery football there.
Well, pretty good design on that play, and that's one thing you got to look with Kroenke. He can throw the ball too, so just a little flip here. They had it set up. The ball was a little bit behind him, so I don't know how many yardage they would have had, but he was ready to run with it before he had a chance to go.
And as we sit high atop Faroe Field, you can tell that the field is probably getting a little slick because it looks slippery down there as we play with the rain coming down here at Faroe Field in Columbia. Beeman calls for the ball, takes it at his waist. Now he's under pressure, slips one man, tries to throw it back, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, he's running for his life pretty much that whole time there, and that look on his face says it all. And
you can see the rain there, too. Take a look at this. Good pressure coming in from the Indians.
He's running from 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a fifth guy here on the end. Tries to dump it out there to his receiver.
Tried to get it to Hesse, and here's a look at the rain from our end zone camera. And just kudos to our camera crew because they're out in this.
Well, it's not quite what it was when I watched the Missouri-Arkansas game, but that camera shot looks a lot like that.
Yeah. So it's 4th down and 10. And now Kroenke looks to pass, and he skips it to Beeman. It's incomplete, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. It was 4th and 10 from the 44, and it looked like they wanted to do a little razzle-dazzle there. And on the fake punt, it goes back to Hayti.
Well, and really not even a chance to get anything going. Winters is in his face.
And that ball slipped out of his hand, too. It looked like Kroenke, even with the gloves on, couldn't get it to Beeman there. So Hayti takes back over. And here's an interesting thought, Dion, aside from 2 big running plays, this would be a 0-0 game.
Yeah.
Calling for the ball. Here's Winters this time. Calls for it. He'll just keep it himself. Ivory Winters has a good first down run. It's going to be about 4, but a little wildcat look that time. And a good job on the interior there by Gabe Marins.
Yeah, Marins really closed down the line, and it was a little slow developing. Marins stayed aggressive and went and got Winters and just held him to a 3-yard gain.
I see some umbrellas up, but kudos to the fans from these teams who have stayed in the stands. They said, hey, we're in the state championship. We're staying here to watch it.
Got here, no sense in leaving.
2nd down and 7. Moore back at quarterback. He'll hand off to Winters, and they're all waiting for him. Good defense that time on the outside. 73 was there, Hayden Beeman, and also Levi Betts was there.
Well, and they're not really blocking that on the edge. It's almost like they had to look like maybe it was like a screen look, kind of a jailbreak screen, kind of release and go.
So it'll be 3rd down and 7, 10.5 to go before halftime. And a good defensive series here so far for Lincoln. Snap, Moore will keep it this time. He's going to try to outrun Jackson Beeman. He can't do it. And a good play by Jackson Beeman on defense. That's going to be a loss of a couple. And it's 4th down.
The Lincoln defense has just decided we're going to get aggressive and send 10, 11 guys to the line of scrimmage and just try and run them down and stop them before they get back to the line of scrimmage. And that has worked the last few plays. Now we're here on another 4th down.
Kervonte Moore thought he could outrun the Lincoln defenders. He could not. And so from the Lincoln 42, it's now 4th down and 8. Winters jumps on the other side, and now a whistle. And it's going to be a timeout, I believe.
Yeah, that's the last
got
one.
it. Yep.
Just before the clock went down. There's a look of frustration there. Coach Robinson's face.
And he's talking over with his guys. And he's talking to his quarterback. He's talking to Moore. Let's talk about Ivory Winters here as we take a look at this senior who is on his way to Indiana. Check out his running style.
Just physical tough, straight ahead, but can make some shifts as well. Doesn't go down. 1 tackle, 2, no one else touched it.
And then the speed to get out and get all the way in. The one thing that you just said there that is exactly right. He is tough to bring down.
Well, the guy who can run like that at his size, especially in Class 1, he's going to be as big as almost every other play on the other side of the ball.
6 carries, 107 yards. Now Moore on 4th down looking to pass, and it is caught for a 1st down.
That was a dangerous throw, but he got it in there.
And a good catch there by Naquan Harris, who had the interception before. He makes the catch for a 1st down. That's a completion of about 10 yards.
Sign roll out here. And Hesse doesn't turn around, or he probably would have intercepted that ball.
Interesting, you say it was a dangerous throw, but on 4th and 7, take a chance, right? They get it to the 32-yard line, 1st down and 10. Moore with Winters to his left. Takes a high snap, now throws it way over the head of his intended receiver out here. That's Xavier Jamerson.
This is basically the 2nd time they've run that same kind of thing, and it's just not even a connection.
That was a good look from our crew. That pass just sailed, and Jamerson just didn't even turn. He's like, I'm not catching that one.
Yeah.
As the rain lightens up here at Furrow Field.
I think it depends on the color of the cloud that goes over how much rain you get.
The Hayti folks are still getting rain on their side. So here we go, 2nd down and 10. They'll hand it off on the jet sweep, cutting it back up. And that'll be a pickup of about 3, but again, a good job by the Lincoln defense. And running that time again was Harris. Harris came in motion, took it, picked up about 3.
Well, and he runs hard as well. But Lincoln's flying to the ball. They're doing a good job keeping the short yardage.
Good job by Gabe Marins on the stop there. Called his name a couple of times along the defensive line. Marin's a 6-foot sophomore. So 3rd down and 7 at the 29 of the Cardinals. This time they'll hand it to Winters, and Winters runs over a man, but Parker Engels hangs on to his ankle and brings him down for no gain.
They're not buying much else here. They are keying on him, saying, look, I'm just going to shoot to get. Look, Engels doesn't even care. He doesn't care where anybody else is doing. He's coming, giving up a lot of size and weight, and going after Ivory Winters.
Nice job by Parker Engels. And his coach, Kevin LeFevre, talked to us about him, said, hey, keep an eye on that guy. That kid is scrappy. Now Moore on 4th down wants to throw. He's got to tuck it instead, and he's not going to make the line to gain. It's going to be a turnover on downs as the Lincoln defense is held, and the Cardinals will have the ball 1st down and 10.
Lincoln has weathered the storm, even though it's still raining.
Yeah.
And their defense has really stepped up and played well. They're tackling, they're aggressive. They're not arm tackling, they're breaking down, getting a good position, and they've got them turned over on downs here, and they get the ball back.
8:27 to go here before halftime. And it'll go back to the Cardinals. And Jackson Beeman will try to lead another drive down the field as he did a couple of drives ago. Beeman, empty backfield, wants to throw, does throw over the middle. It is intercepted, or was it dropped? It is intercepted.
Yeah, it looks like he came down with it.
And that's going to be Kervonte Moore, the quarterback, who has it back for Hayti. And another mistake by Beeman, his 2nd interception today.
This just looks like a pure overthrow. And Moore is able to juggle that ball as his feet go out from under him. Stays with it. Has it all the way. That was going to Kroenke, but that was way over his head.
Nearly lost it, but comes up with it. And just after a big stop by Lincoln's defense, they're back out on the field after the turnover as Moore calls for the ball. Turns and hands to Winters. Winters off of a man to his right side. He's got 10, and he's got about 12 yards on that gain. And that time, Lincoln was there. Winters